Catching up with some more of our WISSOTA auto racing competitors here at the PRI Trade Show 2023. We are with Eau Claire / Menominee, Wisconsin's Jake Redetzke. You and I talked yesterday for a minute about trying to pull you away from the Champagnes booth to get this interview in, as we do every year here at PRI. And obviously, I want to talk about your season. I want to talk about next year and all the fun stuff we talk about typically. But let's start with 2023. 4 wins for you, all of them really big wins throughout the season. You and I were just talking, a couple Challenge Series wins and a couple really big wins at the Masters of Cedar Lake.
No, it was a fun year. It was definitely a lot better than last year. Like I said, it was a total mulligan last year. So, but yeah, the guys really stepped up. I had my one guy, he really started coming around. He was at the shop pretty much every day helping out. And I had another guy helped us out with tires this year, and it just really gave me time to actually worry about trying to make this thing faster.
Well, and you and I, right here a year ago, talked about how your 2022 season was one to forget. It just was one of those things. Just weird things happened, and the results weren't there. And it's one of those years where you want to throw that race car away and get a new one. You kind of did, actually, and then came out of the gate relatively hot. The Masters weekend, a nice win on the first night, but a really nice win on the last night. And then the win at Ashland was big money. The Rice Lake Challenge Series was nice money as well. So every time that you won a race, it was a special event.
No, it was, and again, a lot of the races we went to this year were, at least a Challenge Series race paying $2,000 to win, or, everything else was more. But yeah, we missed a lot of, like Menominee, we only went there locally, I think, twice this year. We had a lot of rainouts, so a lot of the races were, bigger, more cars. But again, everything was a little different this year with the qualifying with the Challenge Series, so that was, definitely nice and new, and I felt like that helped us a little bit, and I feel like we avoided a lot more wrecks, I guess you could say. So, you weren't fixing your body, you weren't fixing suspension parts. You were, again, worrying about the important stuff. How can I make this thing as fast as the Double One Express Pat Door?
Well, let's talk Challenge Series and let's talk Pat Door as well. Challenge Series schedule done. We got it done yesterday. You haven't seen it yet, but it officially is done yesterday. The poster is ready. We got that done last night, and it will be released today or tomorrow. So by the time people are watching this, it'll already be out. But I can show it to you here once we're done. But it's 21 race schedule, pretty much identical to last year. A couple different tracks that we didn't go to. A couple things have moved around. You've been a guy that's followed that thing pretty religiously throughout your career. And let's talk about the qualifying. You were a part of that conversation in the winter, and kind of the way we tweaked it, the way we got it to go. I think it was met with really, really positivity, and like you said, it helped the overall series for sure.
No, I thought everybody, you get some guys that, they don't like a certain format if it's, passing points or if it's, point average. You're always going to find somebody that doesn't like it. And like you said, I feel like everybody had a good feedback on it, and it was different. It was exciting for the fans, I thought. And again, I just thought it was overall good. Yeah,
I think it was, and it produced a bunch of different winners and some really good races. The red and white 11 car, it was on kill all season long. You and I exchanged a text message, which you can say what you said about Pat Door in the text message if you want to. But here's the thing with him is, obviously he's been good forever. He's got 300 wins. He's got 6 Challenge Series championships, multi-time national championship, whatever. But 2023 was one of those years where there was never a night he was off.
No, he had a spectacular year for sure. Hats off to him. And again, he works hard at it. And like I joked with you, to beat Pat Door, you gotta become Pat Door. Maybe not drink so many beers, drive a semi, and I forgot what else I said to you. But no, he did a very good job this year. And again, it was probably a textbook season. I mean, between him and Tyler Peterson, they both had phenomenal years this year. And there was other guys that had good years. Cole Searing. Chad Becker, another great year probably for him. There's a lot of guys out there that had good seasons.
Yeah, the interesting thing about you and Pat and Kanta, who had the year you had in 2022, he had in 2023, right? He will be the first to admit it was a year to throw away, and then he wrecked his car on the last weekend, and he's got a new one coming, and maybe that'll be beneficial because something wasn't gelling with those guys here in 2023, and that's not like him. But when it's you and it's Pat and it's him and Ryan Michelson had a really good, Jeff Massengill, Kyle Peterlin, we had a really good group, Sammy Mars. We had a really good group that followed the series up and down the road. I anticipate that's fun for you guys to obviously feed off each other, and you guys get along well anyway. So then you're not worried about crashing your bodies and fixing your bodies and doing all these things, and you can worry about having a little more fun on the road too.
No, exactly. And, and like Pat Dory, he's kind of more to himself. But this year, like, he seemed a lot more chatty. He parked next to each other a few times, and it was good. It was good to see him smiling. Again, it would have been nice to see John, have a better year than he had. But again, I feel for him. I know exactly how it is. But them guys are just going to keep working hard, and that's all you can do.
Talk about 2024 here. Same cars this year. You got something new coming schedule-wise. I know you haven't seen any schedules, but same typical thing for you guys?
Yeah, we'll probably do the same kind of thing. I don't know if we're going to fully do the Challenge Series this year. We've been doing it for so long. Like I said last year, it helped that you took over. We kind of pushed the qualifying deal, so I wanted to do it. But, there's many tracks in our state I haven't even raced before. And it's like, we're always I don't want to say forced, but we choose to always, support the Challenge Series, go to these other shows, which is, we have a lot of fun doing. But it's like, man, there's tracks in my home state I haven't been to. Like, we need to do this before, I ever think about finally giving her up. So.
Which will be 20 years from now. We talked about this before, too. Your dad raced forever, and I imagine you will do the same thing until you're not having fun for sure, or life changes or whatever. But when you approach a year now, last year was different because you had to build a new race car and you had to get a feel of it right away. You don't have to do that right now, right? So whatever your plan is going into April, I assume you're kind of ready to go?
Well, you say that, but if you want to keep up, we're fully going to rip our body off, go through things. So it's not like it's an easy thing. It was almost easier with a new car because you're grabbing new parts, putting it on, and, that kind of sucked because I got the car kind of late. So we kind of threw it together quicker than I wanted to, but we were able to build some different stuff on it that I need to actually get out. We made some aluminum T-bars for all the T-bars for the MB cars, so I'd like to get them listed for guys. But yeah, no, it's this year's. Now you gotta rip it back apart and make sure it's it's working like it should. But yeah,
talk about the wins real quick, and then we want to talk about Champagnes for a second. And I know you want to get back to work here because that's why you're here. But talk about the wins. The 444 race, big. Like, that was a big one. Big money first of all, but big stage, meant a lot. Everybody knew Tanner Byholm and the Byholm family. That's a big one. And you've run well in Ashland before, and so it's not new for you to win there. The Rice Lake deal, I forgot your first ever win was at Rice Lake, so that's a big one. And then the Masters, big stage, big money, huge car count, huge 3-day weekend. If you're going to win only 4 races, those are 4 really good ones to win.
Yeah, no, and like I told people, the Masters is the biggest win or money-wise I've ever won, but that Tanner Byholm, meant way more. It could have paid $1,000. It's just meaningful. These memorial races really hit home to me. And again, it actually scares me what's going to happen here in the future because there's a lot of great people I'm friends with that unfortunately are, they're running out of time, I guess you could say. And it's just a scary thought to think of, but.
Talk about 2024 for Champagnes. You busy as ever and onward and upward.
No, everything has been good. The last 3 years have been very challenging trying to keep inventory. Just things have been flying off the shelves and everything kind of slowed down a little bit this summer, which is a good thing. We can get things back on the shelf so guys can get it. I'm a racer myself. I want to be able to order it and have it, within 3 days. And just the way COVID, everybody's gotten a lot more relaxed on it. They know it's going to take some time, but I'm just glad that we're restocking our shelves and just trying to get back to what we were always good at. And everybody used to always praise us. You always had inventory. We could have it that same week. But yeah, we're just going to keep working hard there. And I'm glad that slowed down a little bit because I could focus on my racing a little bit more again. So it's a balance.
It for sure is a balance, no doubt about that. Anything else you need people to know? Breaking news. Last year we broke the new chassis news. We talked about new paint scheme. It was a little bit different, but always going to be red, white, and black. We know that. Anything else coming up for you?
No, I just got to thank my guys. They really stepped up around me, family and friends too, and the people that believed in me, again, to have a really successful year, I told my guys that had been helping me, I'm like, you easily could have quit helping me, go help Jesse Glenn's or Kevin Eater, or any of those guys, and, they stuck with me, so that means a lot.
That's awesome. That is Menominee, Wisconsin's Jake Redetzke.